are some extracurricular activities that you partake in high school?
Well, my name's Mitchell Bruckman. I'm from Colorado. I swim, and I'm on the chess club, and I also do some service with my school. But mainly I swim year-round, but also with my high school swim team.
Awesome.
And I want to attend the Naval Academy and go into the Navy after
Swim?
graduation. Yeah, I'd like to swim there.
You can represent. What was your high school GPA?
My high school GPA was a 3.4, like 6 something. I don't know.
Okay.
And then that was weighted. It was 3.3.
Okay. And you're looking to graduate when?
I'm looking to graduate in May.
Nice. And are you gonna participate in a swimming competition? You said you had state?
Yeah, I've got the state swimming song. Well,
Right
May
before?
before graduation, actually. So
That's awesome.
conveniently timed.
That's awesome. So at Greystone, you went to the classes and you did some PT. Yeah. So how were the classes? How was PT in the morning?
Well, I really I enjoyed the classes quite a bit, even though I did chemistry twice.
Right.
But I like the student-to-teacher ratio. It was very small, personable. I actually, in the first class, I actually wrote some answers on the board.
Really?
Yeah, I'd taken the class junior year, so it was sort of coming back to me as the guy
Okay.
taught just a little bit.
So you saw two different professors of chemistry?
Two different professors for chemistry.
Okay.
I saw Dr. Miller and Dr.
Vines?
Vines. Yeah.
How did you like their teaching styles?
I liked them both quite a bit.
Awesome. Do you see yourself being successful in their classes or knowing that it's...
Yeah, I
Love
see
it.
myself being successful in their classes, and I really think the way Greystone's set up, it really, it's very conducive to the success of everyone on the team for a multitude of reasons. One, just because of the schedule. I think that really helps teach people about time management. I think one of my big problems with my high school was, managing my time. It was probably my big errors there.
As was
Otherwise,
mine.
I might have been higher GPA had I done that. And I think coming here will allow me to, improve that skill.
Awesome. Talk about the schedule. Did you go to study hall?
Yeah, I went to study hall. I found it really interesting how it was run by students in the second half of the semester. I think that's great. It really allows for leadership to sort of come through and people to acquire leadership positions. Sounds to me like that in the main happens second semester.
For the most part, yes.
For the most part, as the Colonel Reichert. So let's you guys.
Yes, we have student leadership in first semester, but it is accompanied by the staff to just give us the guidance of their expectations, and then second semester we're able to put that to test. So what you saw was us putting that to the test, and you said that it was successful?
Yeah, it definitely looked successful.
Awesome. This morning you went to the character development and leadership training. That's usually run by a staff member. What did you think about the class presentation that was given by First Squad?
I thought the class presentation was very good. I'd like to honestly see one of the staff members go at it, just because I think that would because I hear that's like a thing of beauty, thing to watch right there. So I think that would have been interesting to see, but I felt you guys did a pretty good job.
How's your experience hanging out with the Greystone team, and what could you get from talking with the students here?
Well, really, I like the way your candidate weekends are set up, where I was able to spend like all my time with the Greystone members, and what really shone through, I think, was sort of the camaraderie and the tight, knitness of your guys' team and how well you seem to work together. Work together here, and that sort of reminds me of my swim team back home. So we've got a very, very close-knit swim team, and I think it helps. The similarities between the two are very striking. Like here and there, you both have goals, and everybody has the same goal. Here, it's everybody's getting into an academy and furthering their education, and going into the military. And at home, everybody's winning a state championship.
Yep. What initially attracted you to Greystone? How did you hear about it? What made you actually fly from Colorado to Kerrville, Texas?
Well, your success rate made me fly from Colorado to Texas, and I've never been to Texas, so it's a very nice state. So it's great to travel somewhere. But it was really your success rate that made me come here. But how I heard about it, I've sort of pieced together more on how I heard about it while I've been here. I met Evan Rude. Turns out he and I know a lot of the same people back in Colorado. He was on the swim team with a lot of the guys I'm on the swim team with right now,
oh, wow.
actually, which is really cool. Yeah, a lot of the guys on my high school swim team were on his club swim team back when he was living in exact small world. So I think I heard about it from Quinlan Stewart, who's a guy who used to swim with, the Stewarts used to swim with Rude.
Oh,
and
wow.
so that's how I heard about it. So he told them, and they sort of told me, and then when I got the thin white envelope, I'm like, I need to get this done. Yeah. So I need to go down to Greystone. So it was sort of funny finding somebody who knows everybody that I know.
That's so crazy. Do you see yourself being a part of the Greystone team?
Definitely. Yeah. I definitely see that. Coming here, I didn't feel... I wasn't so excited for it just because I'm like, it's something I'm going to have to do just because I didn't get into the academy the first time. I want to get into it the next year, but I guess I'm going to have to do some sort of prep program. And then coming here, it actually sort of excited me. Excited me for the program. So I'm like, you know what? This will actually be a great year, not just a year that I've got to spend to get to where I want to go. It'll be an experience in and of itself. So I think I'll really enjoy my time here, and I definitely intend on applying.
That's awesome. So Thursday when you got here, what did you do?
Well, I started out. I went in. I met Commander Bailey. He sort of told me what you guys were about. He asked me about my desire to go to and to attend one of the academies. And we talked for quite a bit about the program here. So it was a sort of introduction, and then I went and met the actual Greystone members, and sort of spent the day with them, and then we did this mock trial, which is a mock congressional interview.
Okay.
Which I was dressed in a suit for, but I believe that wasn't required. You guys call that the murder board, right?
Yes, in fall semester it's the murder board, but for this it's mock congressional interviews, maybe pledge trials. We're still working on a name.
Pledge trial sounds nice. Yeah. So I went in there, and you guys asked me questions about what. Basically, it was the congressional interview. I did my congressional interview. I got my nomination, and the pledge trial was very, very similar to that. Everybody around the table asked me questions about, why I wanted to be in the academy, what I felt about a service academy, what made me stand out from other candidates, and I think it's a very well-rounded technique to be able to practice your interview before you actually go there. I enjoyed it. Felt I did well.
Awesome. So there were students on the board.
Yeah, all the students were on the board. Was entirely composed of students, which is another, I suppose, example of you guys sort of growing into full leaders here. And then the rest of the day was sort of nice. I went to dinner at the Shriner Diner.
How was that?
I was expecting slop, one tray full of brownish goop. Be putting that on my plate and scarfing it down. like those World War II Army movies that you see with those guys, like
mystery meat.
The mystery meat. Exactly. I was expecting that, but you guys actually had it looked very nice. Like they were cooking the meat in the background and putting it out on these trays, and so it was all fresh stuff. And meanwhile, all the Greystone candidates were complaining about the food, and they're like, "Oh, it's not so good. It's not so good tonight. I'm afraid you came on a subpar day." And I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, I expected slop. This is fantastic. And then the next morning, it was way better than it was good. Actually, it was better than it was great. And then the next day, he had an omelet bar, for God's sakes, and I was excited there. I'm like, I get somebody else to make my omelets for me. This is great. So I really like the food too. And the next day I woke up for PT and we ran around for a bit, did some push-ups. Realized how many push-ups I need to do before I come here.
Did you think it was difficult, or you just knew that you needed some help?
Well, in cardiovascular, I'm in great shape just with swimming and stuff.
In Colorado.
But in Colorado, you're high up, the elevation helps coming here. But I haven't done a lot of push-ups since dryland for my swim team stopped. Mm-hmm. So I just need to work on that.
So you just found where you need improvements and know some areas where...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll be able to... I mean, it's definitely something anybody should really be able to do. Mm-hmm. But it takes practice to be able to do it as well as you guys, I suppose.
Well, we had a whole first semester of 5-day-a-week practice.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Friday evening after... Oh, did you go to Toastmasters?
I did go to Toastmasters.
How was Toastmasters?
I thought Toastmasters was... I think it was interesting.
Yeah?
I'd never been to anything like Toastmasters before. Mm-hmm. You guys can work on your speaking.
Yeah.
But I like the counter.
Yeah,
I think it was, Noah was doing that?
The was Rogers.
Was it Alan? It was...
Rogers. Yeah, Alan.
It was Alan Rogers. Yeah, so he was doing the ding, and it was funny because everybody came up to criticize the previous people because the way it's, just to explain how it's set up somewhat, you have the 3 people do a speech, and then 3 people criticize each individual speech, and then you have the grammarian and the timer and the so basically filler word counter.
Yes.
And it was interesting because these guys came up to criticize these speeches, and he was dinging the bell the whole time. They're going up, they're like, well...
Yeah. It's definitely distracting, but then you realize every time that you're saying...
But every time that you do that, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Like with the Toastmasters, I'd like to see, more, improv, discussions. Mm-hmm. Almost personally, if I had to change anything about it, instead of those prepared speeches, more of the table
topics,
the table topics, more time devoted to that, and more people involved, sort of with that. Maybe sort of like a debate between individuals would be interesting, cool. Some sort of not quite a debate club, but if you guys set it up where you guys had topics like who's better, Air Force or Army? I mean, that's already a topic, already in the dorms right there. Who's better?
I don't get how
all
that's
the time.
A debate.
In my opinion, it's not really much of a debate. Navy's the best, but of course Air Force is better than Army.
Thank you.
But I just think it'd be interesting if you guys had debates on military tactics or leadership techniques. Just something to really make you guys think on your feet. Instead of
really great ideas.
Instead of preparing and planning these speeches, I think preparing and planning a speech, of course, is still a useful thing. But I'd like more improv and stuff. And you guys put me on the spot. I had to choose which superhero I wanted to be sidekick of. Of course, I said Superman because that guy can keep me out of trouble no matter what. He can turn back time if I get into too messy of a situation.
Right. Toastmasters is an international program, so we're given a booklet. So that's kind of their structure. Yes. However, with the table topics, the actual questions that we use, we kind of have a little bit free reign with the table topics. So we could definitely incorporate a debate between just anything, the Army, Air Force, or military tactics to get us thinking and get those gears moving. And that's a great idea. I'll definitely be talking to the Toastmasters coordinator because that's actually a leadership position. So we have one kid in charge of that. So
I just think debates would be just a great way for you guys to exercise your.
It'd be awesome. After Toastmasters, what did you do?
I did a Shriner tour with with the lady from the university. I was dropped off by my sponsor, Rains. He dropped me off, and then I did this hour-long tour. Well, I didn't get to finish it. I was doing it with people who are looking into the university itself, not just Greystone. They don't have quite the same distance.
Oh yeah.
So it took a while, but I got to see the campus, which I think it's a pretty great campus. I got to see your library, which I liked quite a bit. It seems extensive and nice. I like to read quite a bit. After that, I was pulled away like partway through because I'd arranged to go with your shooting team to the range.
Yes.
And so we went. I got to shoot a shotgun, a Nagin shotgun over there.
That's awesome.
It was great. I've got a couple pictures from that, but I don't know what type of shotgun it was, but it was
something super duty.
Yeah, some weird type of not typical shotgun. It had 2 tubes on either side, so it'll hold 14 rounds.
That's awesome. Shooting team. Do you know what that is, or do you know what we do?
Yeah, you guys do apparently live fire exercises and active shooter roles. So you're not just sitting there popping off on a target the entire time. You're going through, and I've done some things like that before, and I would definitely like to do that when I come here.
It's a lot of fun. We participate in the IDPA, which is a International Defensive Pistol Association. We compete in their competitions, and you are going through these different courses, and it's a lot of fun. And Coach Taylor, the man that you met that runs the program, this is his second year, so next year will be his third year, and he is an awesome coach for the shooting team. And I've never shot a gun before I came, handgun before I came here. Just not something. My dad works in the ER, so it's not like we go out to the range on his off days. So it was a definitely new experience for me, and it was an awesome experience. And he's a great coach, and I think you would have a lot of fun.
I think I'd enjoy it quite a bit.
Oh, it's fun. It is fun. And Friday evening, did you go out in Kerrville?
Oh yeah, that was last night. Yeah, we went out to Kerrville, and took me out to this burger joint. We ate there, and then we sort of.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. The fries were great.
Right.
I love the French fries there.
The fries were good.
And then we came back and sort of hung out for a little bit. I stayed in some people's rooms.
Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah, we talked all last night, or a lot of it till you had to write that paper.
Yeah.
And then I went out with some people, and we went to the theater to watch Noah, which most people had a problem with because of its theological inaccuracy. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It wasn't exactly. They didn't try to stay true to the good book so much. But
Hollywood.
Yeah. Hollywood.
So, if you were talking to someone like yourself who received that thin white envelope from an academy versus Naval, Air Force, Army, any service academy, and knowing about Greystone, would you recommend it to them? What would you say?
I'd say try to wait a year so you can apply after me, so that way I for sure get in. The competition sort of lower, and that way I can definitely get in. But then after that, you'd need to come to Greystone. I'd recommend to them that they come here. I've got a good friend who actually, he's the one who I found out from Greystone, friend of a friend type thing. That's how I found out from Evan Rood. And I'm going to go back and tell him everything about what's happened here, and I would definitely recommend this program. And from one of the big advantages, I think, of this program versus other preparatory schools is that it's done with an actual university. If you decide, hey, I don't want to do this, you can transfer credits. I'm not going to decide that, but I think it looks even better. It's like I didn't just do 13th grade.
Yes.
I was a freshman at an actual college, and I was doing this prep program. So I think it looks better on a resume to any of the academies than one of the other preparatory schools.
Yes. This year counts for something no matter where you end up.
Yeah,